Hello everyone, I am Amod and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about map data structure in JavaScript. If you are familiar with map in Java, then it will be easier to understand map in JavaScript. But if you don't have any idea of map, no worries because I am going to cover everything from basics. So map was introduced in ES6 or ECMAScript 2015. So basically, map is a built-in object in JavaScript which can be used to store key value pairs. For example, we can have a key like first name and we can assign a value Amod. Similarly, we can create multiple keys and assign values to those keys, and everything we can store into a map. So we can call a map is a collection of key value pairs. And the major advantage of map in JavaScript that we can have key and value of any type like string, number, object, function, etc. But it will not allow duplicate keys. That means we cannot have two keys with name, first name. It preserves insertion order. That means in whatever order you put key and value into a map, in the same order you can iterate it. And the next point, it is iterable. That means we can iterate that map using a key or values or as a pair. And the major advantage, we have ready-made methods to perform actions like adding, deleting, or retrieving the keys from map. And if you talk about performance, then map is better compared to traditional object in JavaScript if you are doing frequently addition and deletion. Let's have a look on important methods of map. So if you want to add a new key and value to the map, then we can use set method. And if the key is already present in the map, then new value will replace old value for that key. If you want to get the value of any key, we can use get method. And if you want to check if any key is present in map, then we can use hash method. If you want to delete any key, then we can use delete method. And if you want to clear the map, that means if you want to delete the entire map or all the key value pairs, then we can use clear method. And keys, values, and entries are method to iterate map. If you want to iterate using keys, then you can use keys method. If you want to iterate using values, then you can use values method. And if you want to iterate as a key value pair, then we can use entries method. And last one, we have size, which is not a method but a property. And if you want to get the number of keys, or basically I should say number of pairs in a map, we can use size property. So basically, map is an object in JavaScript, and we can create a new instance of map object using new keyword. So use new map, and the reference we can store in a variable which we can declare using const, where, let, whatever you want to do you can do, but let me use const and I will give a name like m1. So many call map as a class in JavaScript, which is not 100% wrong, but basically if you see, map is a constructor function which needs to be called using a new keyword. Now to add a key, we need to call m1, then call set method, and here we can put the key like first name and pass the value. Similarly, I can add another key. So this time I'm going to have like 100 and I will put emergency. So here you can see I'm using a string key, but here I am using a number key. So we can have a key and value of any type in this JavaScript map. So if you want to print the content of this map, we can use console.log and just pass the m1. Save it and let's run it. So I'm using Node.js. So use node and then pass the file name. Hit enter. So now you can see it is giving map of 2, and we have first name key with value Amod and another key is 100 with value emergency. If you want to print the object format of this map, then we can use console.log, call object, and here we have method from entries, pass the m1 which is map. Save it and run it. So this time you can see first one is printed as map, but second one is printed as an object. As I said that this map is a constructor function. So basically we can use new map, and here we can pass any array or iterator while creating a new instance of map. That means we can pass an array of array like this. So here I can have first name, use comma, pass the value. If you want to pass another pair, then you can use comma and pass the another pair like last name, comma, value. And we can store this into a new variable, maybe m2. Let me log m2 now. So I need to put semicolon outside and I'm going to comment all these things. Let's run it now. So you can see it is printing a map of two pairs, first name and last name. It does not mean that you cannot later add it. Like if you want to add new pair, then you can call m2.set and it will be added to the map, which you can see here. Map does not allow duplicate keys. For example, here if I do m2.set and I will pass 100, then I will pass the new value like school. So it is not going to throw any error, but this value will override this emergency. Save it and quickly run it. So you can see 100 key has value school. Even we can have null and undefined as a key, like m2.set. I can pass null and pass some value like abc. Similarly, I can do m2.set. I can pass undefined as a key, then let me pass the value. If you run it, we're going to get the pairs like a normal pair. If you try to add null and undefined again in this map, then behavior will be same whatever we have seen for this key 100. That means if I duplicate these lines and let me change abc1, and here also I will change 1. And if I run it, you can see null and undefined keys have their updated values. If you want to get value of any key, so let me use console.log, call the reference which is m2, and we have method called get, and you need to pass the key like 100 here. If you run the program, it is going to return you the value of 100, which is school. Similarly, if you want to check if any key is present in the map or not, then we can use m2.hash method and pass the key. Let me use 100. So it is going to return you boolean value, which you can see here. Now, if I pass any key which does not exist in map for this get method, what do you think what will happen? Let me run and show you. So you can see it is giving you undefined. But if you pass 1000 here with hash method, it is going to return you false. If you want to get the size of map, then use console.log m2.size. Please remember this is not a method, it is a property of map. So if you run it, you can see the size of map is 5, which you can see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If you want to delete any key, then you can use reference m2.delete and pass the key, which is 100 here. And if you do console.log m2, it should not return you 100 in that map. So you can see we don't have 100 in this map. As I said previously that we can have any type of key and values in this map. So let's see how can we have a function as a key. So let me create a function, maybe f1. It is empty function. So if you want to add this function as a key, that is possible. Use m2.set, give the function name which is f1, and you can give any value like 10. And if you print console.log m2, it will give you this function as a key. Run it. So here you can see this function is appearing as a key with value 10. If you try to add same function as a key again, maybe 20 this time, and if you run the program, you can see this time value has been updated for this key. But if we use m2.set and this entire thing as a key here and pass the value like 30. If I log m2 again, so this time you can see we have duplicate keys here with different values. So what happened here, when we are using function name, this is by reference. But when we are using like this is not by reference, this is by value. And this will have different reference in memory. So basically in JavaScript, to identify the duplicate key, map uses same value 0. That means two keys are considered the same if they have the same reference in memory. So I hope you got the answer, like why we have duplicate keys here, because one is by reference and another is by value. Now another important part is iterating the map. So we have multiple ways. First one, for each, which is very common. So you need to call the reference, which is m2, and call the method for each. So in the session you can see that it is going to give you key value pair from the map, which you can difference as k and v. Generally we make this mistake. But if you see here, first one is value and another one is key. So I should use v first and then k. These are just names. It will not create any problem, but you need to understand first value is value and second one is key. Now we can use arrow operator. Let me simply log it. So console.log, we can use literals here, use backticks, and here I can have dollar, then pass the variable name. So let me print key first, colon, then I can print value. So this is the best way to treat the map. It is going to print every key and value pair one by one. Let me quickly run and show you. Okay, so you can see it is wrong output because I need to use curly braces, not the parentheses. So let me correct it, save it and rerun. So this time you can see it is giving me proper key value pair. In the slide, I have shown you three methods: entries, keys, and values. We can also use them. For that, we need to use for of loop. So for reference m2 of and call the entries method. So this will return me a pair of key and value, which I can store into an array, and I can use variables like key and value. You can give any variable name here, and in the body I can use template like this, paste it here, and let me comment this for each, save it and run it. Okay, so again I am making mistake because I did not change the variable name. So let me use k and v itself. Now run it again. So this time you can see it is printing me key value pair. But with the for of loop, there's no need to mention entries if you are using key and value both. That means I can remove this entries method. Save it, and if you run it, we are going to get the same result, which you can see here. Similarly, if you want to get only keys and values, then we can use for of loop. So m2 dot keys, which we can store into a variable of type const, maybe use variable name as k of, and we can simply log it using console.log. Save it and run it. So this time you can see it is returning me only keys. Similarly, if you want to get all the values, then instead of keys, we just need to use values. And if you want to change the variable name, you can change to v. Save it, let's run it. So this time you can see it is printing only values from map. So basically I've covered all the major operations, and the final one, if you want to delete all pairs from maps, then you can use m2.clear. And if you use console.log m2.size, it will return you 0. There is one point worth mentioning here, that when you use clear method, it is going to delete all the pairs from map, but this map will not be deleted from memory. And if you want to do that, then you just need to do reference equal to null, so that it will be picked by garbage collector. So that's all in this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any doubt, please comment on this video. If you really like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe and share with others. Thank you everyone.